Hey everyone, it's the 12th of July 2020. I'm back up at Howell Creek, and just a quick report. I sent off the email to Evermore. Hopefully I'll get a response here pretty soon. And, but as far as that goes, at this point all I can do is wait. And then maybe if necessary send follow-up emails. I am... This last time at the village, spent a good amount of time trying to perfect my craft, and had Matt help me, work on some small projects, talk to him, and he's agreed to go in with me to try and sell some stuff and to provide some other support. So he spent his time helping me, perfect making spoons, to learn how to make it better and more efficiently. Right now, I can make spoons, but it takes me several heats to do it, and I need to get that down so I can get to production level. As far as everything else, right now I'm kind of putting a lot of stuff on hold as I'm trying to get this going. Tomorrow, they said that we have Monday off. The other departments are a little too far behind and need time to get caught off, so it's kind of giving me some motivation, as it just kind of brings home that when you're not in control, you're not in control. And so I'm not getting paid for Monday. And this does happen, this isn't something that's never happened before at this company. When we were behind, Weld got time off. Right now both Weld and Side Metal are a little bit behind, so they're working and trying to get caught up. So it just kind of goes to show, if you're not taking control of your life, which is something that I have a tendency not to do, that you're not in control of your life. And, it's definitely something I need to make sure that, for the sake of my family, I'm in control of my life. That I have multiple streams of income coming in, so that when one stream falters, the others can pick up the slack. Now, fortunately, my family does have multiple streams of income because my wife works and my daughter works. Though her money is pretty much her own, she is willing to help the family out. I don't have really a whole lot to say right now, as you can probably tell, but just something for you guys to think about. If we live in uncertain times, the era of working for one company for 40 years and getting a gold watch and a pension and that kind of stuff, it's largely in the past. Are there certain places where you can still do that kind of thing? Yes. The military, certain government services and stuff like that. But for the most part, for your average individual, it is something where you can't really rely on one source of income. You can't rely on the fact that your company will be there for you. A lot of companies are going out of business. With this COVID stuff going on, a lot of companies that want to have you can't, because reduced hours or reduced demand or others. And other companies are actually doing great. If you're in a company that makes masks right now, you probably have more work than you want. But if you're not in an industry like that, then you probably have less. So just something to think about. Definitely something I've been thinking about and working on. Is what are you doing to ensure your own financial security? And that could be several things. It doesn't necessarily have to be, side businesses. So I think those are great. And that's the way I'm looking at doing this. But it could also be things like savings, How much reserve do you have? Both, money in a bank account that can get you through, and other supplies. One of the times where I was laid off, we had some food storage. And we were able to use that to offset the fact that I didn't have enough money coming in. And that was what allowed our family to survive relatively intact and without a lot of consternation. There was definitely consternation. Things were tighter than we'd like. But we ate. And we were able to take the money I was bringing in and apply it towards things like rent or other things that we didn't have a reserve of. So once again, my question is, what are you guys doing to preserve your particular stability, your resiliency, to be able to take up the slack when other areas that you rely, other systems of support that you rely on, fail or falter? That's mainly what I want to say today is, what are you doing to make yourself and your family more resilient? And resiliency just isn't the physical. I tend to focus more on the physical because I kind of feel that that is my personal area of responsibility, primarily, is making sure that my family is clothed, fed, and housed. And, so I place a lot of emphasis on those type of things. But there are other things that my wife is better at, What are you doing to ensure that your family has the stability that it needs, emotionally, financially, if you're spiritually. Stephen R. Covey, in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, refers to an emotional bank account. And real quick, the premise behind that is that if you have, that every relationship has an emotional bank account. And you make deposits and withdrawals on that emotional bank account. And if you are constantly making withdrawals and not making deposits, then soon that relationship is going to fail. It's going to go bankrupt. And I'll either end up in divorce, lost friendships, failed business partnerships, just because they can't trust you. With your children, it can be estrangement. There's a situation in my life where there was a person who I had a relationship with, and to be fair, he actually made a lot of deposits. He also made a lot of withdrawals. And then this one person did something that basically bankrupted the relationship. And I no longer have a relationship with this particular individual. And that one act, undid all of the deposits he did. Undid years of a relationship that, to be honest, for the most part, a lot of the times, the bank account was low. But even when it was high, this one act basically ended the relationship. I couldn't trust him anymore. I And it was to the point where I couldn't afford to have him in my life. He's not in my life anymore. Unfortunately, this person is connected to other people who I want to continue to have a relationship with, but because of that, it makes it very difficult to have relationships with them. And that one act has severely affected me and a lot of other people. And has left us, basically trying to dig out, because not only did that particular act end that relationship, but it left scars. It was basically a bankruptcy that, emotionally I had to deal with, the feelings of betrayal, the feelings of loss. And feelings of loss and betrayal of some of the other people who stayed with him. So I guess that's my second point, is what are you doing to maintain a positive balance in your emotional bank account with the people around you? With your spouse, what are you doing to maintain that relationship? Or is it already gone? I know of some people where, unless something changes, it's almost all withdrawals. For every dollar they put into the emotional bank account, they're withdrawing 10. And here's the other thing, just something to think about. With my wife, I'm around my wife all the time. And so small little things can put, money into that bank account, emotional money into that bank account. And then I do something big, and that puts even more, a larger deposit in. And then I do something stupid, which I do a lot. Just ask my wife. And I do withdrawals. Sometimes they're small withdrawals. I said I was going to take out the trash, and I forgot to. A small withdrawal. Other times they're larger. But because of that constant interaction, I'm able to constantly feed that bank account. I have friends where, I see them maybe once a quarter. And fortunately, in those relationships, there's almost no withdrawals. Just because we get together, we have fun, and then we go our ways. Then I have other friends. And at this point, they might not even be able to be called friends, because they're people who I was good friends with in the Marines. Or, here's a perfect example. I had a good friend named Joe Pfizer in high school. One of my best friends. Both him and Nathan Keyser, he pronounced it Keyser, were really, really good friends. I have no idea where either of those two people are. And that relationship fell apart just due to lack of maintenance. And eventually, just like if you keep a zero balance for long enough, a lot of banks will just close the account. You didn't necessarily do anything wrong. There's no mark on your credit score or anything like that. It's just you didn't do business with them long enough, and it was costing them money to keep the books open, so they closed. So any relationship you want to keep, you need to make sure that you are actually putting money into that account. Any relationship that you want to grow stronger, you need to ensure that you're putting in deposits regularly, and that you're just not letting things stay stagnant. Just something else for you to think about. Alright, well, once again, this is Rob Van Dyson, encouraging you to think about what you want in life, what you're doing to move your life forward, to chase your dreams, and to figure out how to bring some stability into your own life. Alright, Van Dyson out.